Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight for the American Trucking Association 250 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are proud to have the series back here tonight. Looking at Seth Hatchel, last week's winner from Daytona, as he currently sits third on the leaderboard in the practice session leading into tonight's race. Looking for a potential back-to-back victory here tonight. I want to welcome you all to V-Speed in tonight's race, the American Trucking Association 250. It's going to be 170 laps here tonight, 255 miles, and we've got stages in this race: lap 50, lap 100, and all the way to the end at lap 170. Should be a battle of saving tires, who can outlast the other drivers and hang on and win this thing at the end and lock themselves into the playoffs here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Hatchel, as previously mentioned, winning last week, trying to win 2 in a row and prevent anyone else from locking themselves in. But gotta consider one of the favorites here, AJ Stravato, the 48 car, as he is a many-time winner from last season. I believe he ended the season with 8 wins, maybe even more than that. But he sits second on the board and fastest in practice. Chris Samard, the number 37 machine, who ended up with a top 6 finish last week for Team V-Speed. As the drivers now heading to their qualifying session. We'll see who jumps on track first and follow along. Let's take a look at the weather for tonight's race as well. 82-degree air temp and 112-degree track temp, so going to be plenty slick out there, and heard some reports from the drivers that it just builds looser and looser as the run goes on. I'm looking forward to see how these drivers hang on to it in tonight's event. As Samard on the racetrack, we'll bring up the qualifying ticker so you can see where your favorite drivers are lining up. You've got fans in chat already cheering on AJ Stravato. Dennis Faircloth as well, getting some cheers in the chat. Dennis not on the track just yet, but Samard, as he goes around up to speed here, right up by that outside wall to try and carry as much momentum as possible. We'll see how that works for him here. We're going to go on board with Chris, actually, from the in-car camera presented by American Trucking Association. This is Chris Samard, number 37. Down across that apron and back up onto the banking. Lap number 1 in the books. He goes 5th fastest with a 30.99. Eric Hutton fastest with a 30.53, about 4/10 faster. But Chris using that first lap as the momentum lap and trying to pick up on that here on lap number 2. Let's take a look at Eric Hutton as he comes out of turn number 4 on lap 2, trying to improve his time. A 30.53 across the line. This time he will go a 30.49, ties the lap time of Safe Fares, those two at the top of the board. And Chris Samard with a 39, he's going to jump to the top. Kevin Cornelius second. And look at this, the Team Red Speed machines all up there towards the front. Keith Maiato, though, to the top of the board, followed by Seth Hatchel. Last week's winner, he comes across the line in the 2nd position. Driver to keep an eye on, though, going to be AJ Stravato as he rolls out onto the racetrack. Lots of time in this qualifying session for these guys. We'll see what Stravato can do as he makes his way slowly on the apron here at Las Vegas, trying to get that car up to speed. Now as he going to roll off the pit lane and up onto the banking. Stravato, very good at these races. Last season he actually won here. I believe it was in the closing laps of that race. He comes across the start-finish line right now. We'll see what kind of lap he can put down. As fastest on track is Keith Maiato with a 30.33. Great time there, and going to be a tough time to beat, but if anybody can do it, it will probably be AJ Stravato. And I would not count out Josiah Vincent. Ryan Gemmel on lap number 2 in the number 6 machine. He's usually pretty good here in the qualifying sessions. Also, Eric Gallion has not taken his second lap yet. Nice. He is working towards the start and finish line. And Gemmel with a 30.335, just off his teammate's time. Eric Gallion across out of turn number 4. We'll see what he improves to on lap number 2, the number 33. He'll get a 30.41. Very nice lap time there as AJ Stravato down the backstretch on lap number 2. Can he pick up the pole position here on lap number 2? First lap was a 30.53. And this time headed towards the start finish line, he will improve to a 30.308. That is going to be fastest. AJ Stravato to the top of the board. Not too many drivers left to qualify, but here comes Dennis Faircloth, the number 80. Lap number 1, a 4-minute 6-second .691 is what it's showing me. I don't think that actually is counting, though. I think that is his out lap. So he is going to try and pick up a little bit here. Only 2 drivers left to qualify at all. It is Dennis Faircloth and Robert Gilmore, the number 40. And welcome Blazer Pete, J Mines 32, War Bovine. Thanks for coming out here and watching tonight for the American Trucking Association 250 is across the line right there. Dennis Faircloth a 30.49. We'll see if he can improve on lap 2. Out of turn number 2, down the backstretch. Headed down into turn number 3. Right down by that white line. It's out of turn number 4. What does that lap time improve to? Start finish line right there. He will go from a 49 to a 43, which will put him up there in the 10th position. Nice lap from Dennis. And only driver yet to put a time in is Robert Gilmore, but that leads us to our commercial break here. The driver's going to head to the driver's meeting, and we will be right back with your starting grid.
Hey, honey.
It's happening. The baby's coming.
Okay, I'm on the way.
Hey, buddy. You ready for the big game?
You're gonna be there, right, Dad?
You can count on me. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hey, honey, Josh's flight landed early. He'll be about 6:30. Can you make it?
Okay. I'm on my way.
We've got total gridlock out there this afternoon.
The average American spends over 40 hours a year, nearly 2 full days, stuck in traffic on our broken roads and bridges, while our lives move full speed ahead. It doesn't have to be this way.
Where is he?
Husband's on his way.
It's time for Washington to get America moving again by finally funding our country's infrastructure.
Where's Mom?
Tell Washington to fund America's infrastructure, because life won't wait.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big, all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for a baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to be broadcasting the Below the Double Yellow 2020 Cup Series, starting July 30th, Thursdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing, with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
And welcome back to the racetrack, getting ready to get things kicked off. Just a few more minutes left here in the drivers' meeting, and we will be underway for race number 2 this season. And if you are unfamiliar with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, they have a 20-race season and 10 races in the regular season, 10 races at the end of the season and for the playoffs, and that is going to be very intense. Was a great battle last season, working their way down into those final few races, and very excited for what kind of action we're going to have this season. More drivers in the field this year than we had at the start of last year, and we had a fantastic race last week at Daytona, one of the best races we've ever broadcast here on the channel. No hesitance in saying that either. A lot of fun and very clean racing. Only 2 actual crashes in that race. One was obviously very large, the big one, and then the other one just was actually just a technical problem for one of the drivers involving a few other drivers. And we'll have that race up on our YouTube channel coming up most likely tomorrow. We had some issues with the broadcast and trying to stitch everything together and trying to get that exported and uploaded to YouTube, so that should be up tomorrow. And you can check us out at all these different social media outlets, starting with facebook.com/vspeedsim, where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter, and we post those same announcements over on our Twitter page. And you can keep up with all the action throughout the week on our social media outlets. And also check us out on YouTube for those race replays. Like I said, we'll be putting last week's race up this evening or tomorrow, and you can go back and enjoy that race. What a fun one it was. I want to thank all the sponsors for coming on board this year. Of course, tonight's sponsor, the American Trucking Association. You can learn more about them at the link in the chat, or if you use command !ATA, you can learn a lot more about them. But ATA is the voice of the industry America depends on most to move our nation's freight. We are an 86-year-old federation with state trucking association affiliates in all 50 states. We represent every sector of the industry, from LTL to truckload, agriculture and livestock to auto haulers, and from large motor carriers to small mom and pop operations. Learn more about the American Trucking Association at www.trucking.org. And I want to thank them for sponsoring this season, sponsoring tonight's race as well, and all the other great sponsors as it looks like the field heading to the starting grid. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. Starting on the front row, AJ Stravato, your pole sitter, the number 48, running a 30.308. Fantastic lap time. No one really all that close. It's Keith Maiato on the outside of the front row. He runs a 30.331. That's the closest time anyone got to Stravato. Those two on the front row looking for a victory tonight. Ryan Gemmel running a 30.335. He'll start third. Mark Emerson going to be rolling off in the 4th position with a 30.346. So those top 4 or so pretty close, and it's pretty close throughout the field as well. Seth Hatchel rolling off 5th, last week's winner. Brandon Vasquez rolling off in the 6th position here tonight. 7th position, Chris Samard. 8th is Eric Gallion. 9th is Nick Starling, looking for a bounce-back race after crashing out and blowing an engine in last week's event. Dennis Faircloth going to round out the top 10 on our grid. Kevin Cornelius going to be starting in the 11th position. 12th will be Dallas Sullivan. 13th, Eric Hutton. 14th, Dale Glessner. 15th, Safe Ferris. 16th, Noah Michalski. 17th, Cody Adkins. 18th, Jeremiah Vincent. 19th, Brett Sommers. Rounding out the top 20 is Nick Alves. In 21st position, it is Eric Lambert. 22nd, Kyle Payne. 23rd, Josiah Vincent. 24th, Michael Newman. 25th, TJ Brendel. 26th, Tony Baird. 27th, Mark Beverly. 28th, Nick Gardner. 29th, Justin Carey. 30th is Timmy Emanuele. 31st, Jordan Brockle. 32nd, Dennis Steele. 33rd, Dylan Teal. 34th, Lyle Sulfridge. 35th, Zach Smith. Alan Dice going to be rolling off in 36th. Jordan Shepler rolling off 37th. And Robert Gilmore starting in the 38th position. 38 drivers in tonight's race. Looking forward to a good one here. So sit tight. Enjoy the ride as we are about to get underway for race number 2. And AJ Stravato going to lead the field off here for the green flag. Give your votes in chat. Cheer on your favorite driver, and let us know who's out there, who you're rooting for, and we'll follow along with them throughout the race. As pace car makes a hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Waiting. Green flag in the air. We are underway. Look at the jump by Emerson up there in the 4th position. Not able to make the move, though, to the outside of Maiato as Stravato gets a good jump down on the inside. He's followed by Ryan Gemmel very closely, the 6 machine. And you see all the V-Speed cars up there in the top 5 right now after a very strong performance at Daytona, where all 4 finished in the top 6. We'll see if they can do that again, but right now it is AJ Stravato down into turn number 3. He leads the way, and no one there to challenge him. Oh, Gemmel very loose. He's going to lose control down through the grass on the front stretch. He's able to hang on to it, and he'll get that car woed up here. Safe Farrier's a little bit of a checkup down there as well. He might have had some issues with the handling, but already a concern for Ryan Gemmel, who's lost a lot of time in all that track position on the first lap of the race. As AJ Stravato leads the way, we'll bring up the ticker so you can follow along with your favorite drivers. Stravato out in front by just under a quarter of a second, and Keith Maiato in tow behind him. And Mark Emerson back here, he had a pretty strong run going at different points last week. I believe he may have ended up caught up in some of the messes there, but Seth Hatchel already up here towards the front, not really around where we saw him the entire race, and he only led less than half a lap really at Daytona, but came away with the victory and timed it perfectly. Chris Samard, who was involved in a couple of the incidents last week, he charged back up to 6th. Look at Nick Starling up here in the 6th position. We saw Nick have a good run last year at Kansas as he tries to chase down these top 5 cars. Remember talking with Nick after the event at Kansas and just how excited he was, how he felt he did on the long run with a looser race car, which is what we're seeing here tonight. And right now I'm doing a very strong job. Look at Kevin Cornelius, though, trying to track him down, in a big gap back to Eric Hutton, who's under fire from Dennis Faircloth, who's already moved up 1 position, now trying to take away that 8th spot. He goes to the inside, and big wiggles behind them. The 81 of Cody Adkins trying to hang on to it, and also the 4 of, or I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, that is the 4 of Josiah Vincent. He had a moment there as well as he battles to the inside of Noah Michalski. And this is for the 15th and 16th positions back here. The 46 of Dallas Sullivan right there in front of them. He looks to the inside of Adkins, who got loose. And we'll see how they do side by side this time. Look at the 46 drifting up the racetrack just a little bit. Close call there as he's trying to hang on to it down low. And these guys definitely unsettled, as look at this, a battle up farther. The 17 of Kevin Cornelius and Nick Starling. Kevin trying to work that high line and not able to make it happen just yet, but across the start finish line they are side by side. Thank you for the follow, Asp Axe, appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoy the rest of tonight's race. Right now it is all AJ Stravato up front, as he has pulled a gap of over a half second back to Keith Maiato, and Keith really known for saving the tires on his race cars. He almost brushes the outside wall right there, and Seth Hatchel waiting to pounce. He's got a hungry Mark Emerson all over the back bumper, and Mark not going to look to the inside just yet, but he's going to run right up underneath the back bumper. That's going to get Hatchel a bit loose as he slips up the racetrack. Here comes Emerson down low, trying to take away the 3rd position, and looks like he will do so. Hatchel not really going to challenge him all that much just yet early going in this race. We do have a change between Cornelius and Nick Starling, and let's see what else is going on in the field right now. Looks like some battling a little bit farther back, but not too much side by side just now, as we did have a battle right up here. That's the 39 of Timmy Emanuele way up the racetrack. Alan Dice going to slip on past. And the 28 of Dennis Steele in that silver machine. I like that paint scheme. Really like the metallic schemes, but not overly metallic like chrome, but these kind of more matte metallics. Definitely a very nice looking scheme. As right now Jordan Scheffler struggling back here in the 37th position, but Robert Gilmore currently in that 38th and final position, and not having a great outing just yet, but so we'll see if he can pick it up here as the race goes on. Look at Stravato now over 3/4 of a second out in front as the battle is on for second. Mark Emerson down low. That car wobbling all over the place, but he is keeping speed in it as he looks to the inside. And thank you, random number follower, for following. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoy tonight's event. Joey Mines saying that his paint is better. And Joey, I don't see you out here. You're not on the racetrack tonight, so congratulations on your first ever hosted race win. That's awesome to hear. Definitely fun when you can take home a victory, no matter what the format is, official, league, or just hosted. It's always cool to come home in first, as not too much in terms of battling going on just yet. Some drivers looking to try and move forward. Oh, we got the 81 of Cody Adkins in the wall, and he is sliding down the racetrack. He's going to make contact with the 16 and the 78. Is the yellow flag going to fly? Not yet. Yellow flag is out now. Just barely squeaking by. Oh, no, a big hit for Zach Smith. And that brings us under our first yellow flag of the race. What happened with the 81? He was battling it up with Dallas Sullivan, but Cody Adkins up high just gets a little bit loose center of the corner. Couldn't quite hang on to it out of turn number 4, and he slams the outside wall, bounces back off the wall a couple times, and then across the racetrack into the 16. Big hit by the 78 of Dylan Teal, and a few cars just barely slipping on past, but not sure what happened here as the one of Zach Smith just T-bones him, and other big hits. But Zach Smith going to be in rough shape here. Let's take a look at what Zach saw from the in-car camera. So there's some smoke there. Can't really see where the cars are going. And oh, he just drove right into him. And then I think Nick Gardner, that 16 machine, he has heavy damage. That car up in smoke is, I think, after he made contact, he ended up getting shot down into the inside wall. Couldn't quite correct it back to the right and just slams that inside pit road barrier. And that is going to put him out of tonight's race. As we'll see if the leaders bring it in here. Looks like AJ Stravato brings it down the pit road. Dennis Faircloth also going to bring it in the number 80 machine. And Josiah Vincent, a handful of others. Ryan Gemmel, who we saw had the mistake early on, he brings it in along with basically everybody outside the top 27. I believe 6 sets of tires in tonight's race. So got to use those tires correctly, or you will run out. The way this track is abrasive and the temperature of the track tonight. As the field works under the yellow flag. Few drivers I don't see out here. I don't see the Lazy Days Racing machines, Chris Randall and Eric Barilli. I do see Nick Alves out here, the number 24 car. Brett Sommer's having a pretty good quiet run so far to start this thing off, just 15 laps in. He is in that 14th position, doing a great job, and hoping to get a nice solid finish here at the start of this season. We saw Brett have a couple good runs later in the year last season, but didn't have the consistency throughout the entire year, and hopefully trying to pick up on that this year. As the pace car lights are off, we're going to be going green next time. Yes, sir, the number 3 machine, Eric Lambert for Simulators Anonymous. Epidemic 838 here on Twitch. If you want to check him out, see his in-car view. He may be streaming, I'm not exactly sure. But appreciate him often rating and watching the stream as well, along with all of his fans. As it is going to be Keith Mayato leading the way for Team V-Speed. He is going to have control over this restart. And AJ Stravato, who pitted there, he'll be the second car off the pit lane, as Dennis Faircloth actually well, I believe AJ actually is a position in front of him in the 26th position, and 27th is going to be Dennis. But at the front of the field, trying to get a good restart here, is going to be Mark Emerson. As out of turn 4, pace car makes a hard left-hand turn and back underway. Green flag in the air. Keith Mayato gets us going. And Mark Emerson not able to get up to speed with him, but he'll drop down into that second position as they dive into turn number 1. It's going to be Seth Hatchel, Chris Samard battling for third, as Mayato out to about a 2-car length lead over the rest of the field. But Emerson not out of the woods yet. Here comes Hatchel right on the back bumper. He's going to look to the inside down the backstretch. And the way this track works now, it's very similar to a restrictor plate or a super speedway, in that you're pretty much flooring it all the way around. Let's jump on board here in the in-car camera with Mark Emerson. So we've got a yellow flag on the racetrack. Trying to figure out who that is. The 17 of Kevin Cornelius, I believe. And he has some big damage on that race car. Let's go to the outside, as that car really beat up, and Kevin will not get another top 5 as he did last week. Let's take a look to see what happened towards the middle, the back of the field. He had a big hit, as you would expect from that damage. Let's take a look here. Kevin Cornelius, the bright green car there for Team Red Speed. Racing on the inside of Eric Hutton. They make contact headed into the corner. I think he thought he was clear, and then that car just rolls up on the outside. It looks like Eric Hutton got tagged by Brett Sommers, and a little bit of commentator curse there. As Brett just ran right in the back of him, and another car, I think, possibly making contact. Maybe Noah Michalski. I'm not exactly sure if he was. Well, somebody was behind the 7, just barely avoided him. Yeah, he just ran right in the back of him. That was the 12 of Michael Newman, who I don't think made contact, but able to survive that wreck. And so going to be some interesting situations here. Eric Hutton going to have all that damage, and he'll have to bring it down the pit lane, I'm sure, as he is right now, trying to catch that car as he drops through our timing and scoring. There he is. So 2 cautions already in this one for accidents. That ties what we had last week. Rickabee, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And so a few drivers on the pit lane. It looks like Kevin Cornelius, of course, getting that damage repaired, and he will have quite a bit of time to sit on pit lane with that. Brett Sommer is going to try and get some of his front end damage, or front end repaired. And Jordan Brockle. What happened to Jordan? Was that from the previous wreck? Looks like it probably was not really involved in this one. But he has heavy damage on that car, still on the lead lap, but not going to be racing at a very competitive pace, as it is still Keith Mayato. And got to remember, stage 1 comes at lap number 50 here tonight. You can see it right there. Stages lap 50, lap 100, and lap 170. The top 10 earn points in those first 2 stages, and of course laps 170, the end of the race tonight. So that's when they give out all the points. And we'll see who ends up winning the stage here. Hat Trick Rick, thank you for the follow. Thank you for tuning in here tonight to the American Trucking Association 250 from Las Vegas. If you missed earlier on, you can check out the sponsor for tonight's race by visiting www.trucking.org. American Trucking Association sponsoring this series and sponsoring tonight's race as well, as we work under the second yellow flag of the night. trying to get things straightened out, and hopefully we get some good, clean green flag racing. We've seen a lot of issues from a lot of drivers here with the handling of the race cars. Obviously a bit different than the Super Speedway last week. As you can also take a look at the weather tonight, 105-degree track temp. Going to be a little bit slick out there for some of these guys. If you're interested in participating in a giveaway that we're doing for some merchandise from V-Speed, check us out on Twitter as well as here. If you're not a follower already on either of these, go follow us on Twitter. Follow us right here on Twitch to be eligible for a giveaway. We're going to be giving away a t-shirt or hat of your choosing on the V-Speed website. So you can check us out at vspeedsim.com if you want to learn more about our merchandise. But you will be eligible to win one of those items if you follow along on both of those platforms. I appreciate everyone who's followed and supported us over the last about year and a half now. We've had some huge growth on the channel, and really looking forward to a very successful 2021 with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series and the Virtual Racing League going to be coming up in just a couple of weeks. That'll be on Wednesday nights, and looking forward to another great year with those guys. Some really high quality drivers, and some of the drivers from this series will be in that one as well. It should be a lot of fun to watch those guys duke it out week in and week out, and then right back over here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series as well. As we are waiting on that pace car to make the hard left-hand turn. A few pace laps so far in the early going here tonight, but maybe we can keep it green to the end of the stage. Lap number 50. Said Glean, that would make Mr. David Schildhaus proud. Green flag back in the air. Keith Maiato, a good jump over his teammate Seth Hatchel, and that's going to allow Mark Emerson to look to the inside as they make their way down the front stretch into turn number 1. And Emerson going to take over that spot, but just like last time, Seth Hatchel right there in tow. Is he going to be able to do anything? And Emerson smartly goes to the inside lane and going to try and throw the block down there. Hatchel has to look to the outside. That's not going to work this time, but maybe going to be able to pull the crossover move out of turn 4. Look at the 32 of Emerson with the wiggle. And here comes Hatchel trying to put pressure on the outside. The 32 is going to throw the block. Hatchel right on the back bumper. Still trying to find a way around as we bring up the ticker so you can follow along with your favorite drivers. You see the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent way up in the outside groove. And that is not something we've seen work just yet. Look at Safe Ferris working his way through the pack. And oh, he makes contact with the 33 or the 23 of Vasquez. He's going to send him around, and Vasquez going to lose control. That's going to take out a bunch of cars. Oh, big hit for the 22 of TJ Brendel. Cars still piling in. That's the 40 of Gilmore. Michael Newman involved. 80 of Dennis Faircloth gets that thing load up, but that is a big set of hits for the number 23, and likely ending his race. It looked like contact between Safe Ferris and the 23, but let's go back and take a look as some drivers were trying to charge up from behind right there. Brandon Vasquez, that purple and black number 23 machine, he was right there in front of Safe Ferris. Safe looks low late. The 23 goes down. They make contact, and Safe gets into him a second time as I think he thought the 23 had it saved. And look at that Stravato, your pole sitter, big hit, and Michael Newman involved, and some other big hits. The 46 of Dallas Sullivan, man, he got cleaned out, and that is unfortunate. Dallas had a pretty solid run going early on in this. Let's see if we can go a little bit more overhead. He got involved there. Jeremiah Vincent, who we saw have a little issue. A few other cars involved, and man, they just piled in. The track started to get blocked. I think the 13 of Jordan Scheffler was also involved in that one. Yeah, and a lot of cars involved in this one. The third caution of the night coming just a few laps after the second. And a few drivers are able to survive. You saw Kevin Cornelius and I think the 77 of Hutton also able to weave his way through there. But a lot of drivers with a lot of big damage. And there are definitely going to be a lot of penalties probably in tonight's race. And just take a look at Brandon Vasquez. Formerly known as Batman. He's not running the Batman scheme this season, but he definitely got cleaned out. That car is missing the nose and the tail end on that Chevy Camaro. Or actually, that is a Ford Mustang. I can't even tell because the panels are gone. But unfortunate for Brandon, who really showed some strength late in the season last year. I believe he went up there, led some laps at Homestead, Miami, the final race of the season. And he had a pretty solid run last week at Daytona. I think also involved in a wreck there as well after his steering wheel disconnected. And that is going to bring out caution number 3. Just one lead change in tonight's race. That goes from AJ Stravato to Keith Maiato. And Stravato with the damage now. Probably going to have a hard time getting back up here to the front. And we are going to go quickly to a commercial break. Be right back.
Simulators Anonymous is an online gaming community. The heart of this community is playing simulator-style games, everything from driving, farming, flying, to the occasional survival game. We would love for you to join us. If you play these style of games, or if you're just looking for a great community, we strive to be a community you can be an active participant in by offering events like every third Saturday night is a late night trucking on Truckers MP. We have a very own Minecraft server and with other servers starting soon. Come join Simulators Anonymous today at www.simulatorsanonymous.com.
Wanted to run that ad there, get a shout out to the Simulator Anonymous drivers. You see Eric Lambert, who was asked about in the chat. Unfortunately, I think some of the other drivers getting involved in that accident, but Eric was able to survive without damage, and that car's still clean and green as we are working a lap number 28, and we're going to be going green next time at the start of lap 29. And nobody in the top 10 has made a pit stop yet. Ryan Gemmel, the first of the drivers to make a pit stop. He is in the 11th position right now, working his way up from the back of the pack like we saw throughout the last couple of short runs. He's trying to recover from the early slide out of turn number 4 where he lost basically all the track position that you can lose. He was up there in the top 5 or so and fell well back outside the 30th position, now up into 11th. Keith Maiato, your leader. He's going to have Mark Emerson to his outside. And green flag back in the air. The 32 started coming down the racetrack. Not sure what that was, but he drops into the low line now. He'll take over the second spot, as he has done so many times already in this race. And Maiato out to a 2 or 3 car length jump. The battle for third not going to happen right now. Samard unable to challenge. And here comes Nick Starling, that 5th position right now. But he's got the 10 of Dale Glessner looking to the inside. Dale making his second start to the series here for Team Red Speed. And up here now fighting for a top 5 position. He needs a good finish to try and bounce back from the Daytona wreck he was involved in. Eric Gallion up here fighting as well. He's had a very good start to this season and really wrapped up last season in a very strong way as well, as he fights to the inside. Not going to be able to make the pass on the 2 of Noah Michalski, and behind them looks like Eric Lambert, Tony Baird also inside the top 10 trying to work their way forward. Here comes Josiah Vincent in the 11th position, who was able to get around Ryan Gemmel. And almost a brush on the wall there for Lambert, who's going to let Josiah right on past. Very nice paint scheme, the Valvoline car on the number 4 machine. As Gemmel trying to find a way around Lambert now. He's got fresher tires, but probably won't make too much of a difference here. Eric goes pretty deep into the corner. He's going to lose control, though. And Gemmel able just to barely squeak on past. And Eric able to hang on to it, but that was a moment for the driver of the number 3. The 77 of Eric Hutton now closing in as well. He's trying to recover after getting involved in the incident with Kevin Cornelius. And right now we do have 29 cars on the lead lap. Next car a lap down is Robert Gilmore, who is 4 laps down, and he is on the racetrack, but about to get put one more lap down. As there goes the top 3 right on past. A little ways back, Chris Samard now working to the inside. Here comes Glessner as well. And then Noah Michalski and Nick Starling side by side as the 40 of Gilmore brushes the wall. And Michalski trying to move past. He's going to pass Nick Starling, and Josiah Vincent trying to move up through the pack as well. He started uncharacteristically towards the back of the field and has to be very patient with that car to try and make it up here. He's already gained 16 spots in tonight's race. As now he looks to the inside of Michalski, and he'll drive right on past, not able to fully clear him as he gets a little bit loose out of the corner. And still fighting that thing as we are 3 wide behind him. That is the 99 of Nick Starling in the middle. This is dangerous. Here comes Stravato, who had a lot of damage. They were able to put the nose back on that race car, and he is just fighting his way up through the field. He'll move up now inside the top 10 in the 9th position. What a drive for Stravato, who I thought was surely going to be out of this thing with the way that car made impact in the previous wreck. But that is not the case, and he is now, with fresher tires than anyone, working his way back up towards the front. And Ryan Gemmel still fighting to get up in that top 10, not able to do so just yet. As Nick Starling really deep send into the corner. Here comes the 6 of Gemmel, going to look at the inside of Gallion. This will be for 10th position. Meanwhile, at the front, Keith Mayato still leading Mark Emerson by a couple of car lengths, and Seth Hatchel not far behind. He is trying to stick with these 2. And then Dale Glessner able to work on past Chris Samard, the number 10 car. Pretty good showing. He also he had a great showing last week as well, running up towards the front. Started on the pole in the Daytona race and knocked out of that one early. As here comes Stravato, fastest car on the racetrack with those fresher tires. After they put the nose back on, he's trying to fight his way around Chris Samard, who's got his own battle with Josiah Vincent. And that is going to allow the 4 car to move right on past, and Stravato going to jump to the outside. Samard throws a block there, but I think it is going to be impossible to defend the 48 on those fresher tires. As here goes Stravato, he moves up to the 6th position. And your pole sitter on a mission to get back up to the front after getting involved in the accident there not too long ago. And Josiah Vincent also fresher tires than the cars in front of him. He is making some ground as well. Not far back, Ryan Gemmel starting to challenge for the 9th position alongside Nick Starling, and has not been able to make the move just yet. Now he works past him on the inside here, but still not able to clear him. But taking that shorter route, I think Nick may just hand it over to him. We'll have to see what he does. But Ryan dives in deep into turn number 1, and he will clear the 99 to make that pass and move up to that 9th position. And he'll drop in behind Noah Michalski, who's his next target, the number 8. Nick Alves now moving on past Eric Gallion, and Eric a bit off the pace right now. Not sure what is going on, but he had a very bad lap on the previous lap. Nick Alves on fresher tires, he's able to fly on past up into the top 15. And 10 laps to go to the end of the stage. Right now it is Keith Mayato, Mark Emerson, Seth Hatchel, the top 3, but Josiah Vincent closing fast in the number 4 car. And these drivers trying to make it all the way on fuel and tires up there in the top 3. And Vincent here hitting just 27 laps ago. He should be good on both accounts. And you can see he is starting to close up. Last time by about a 1/10.5 faster than your race leader. Behind him, AJ Stravato. He is still running some good laps, but not quite as quick as he was. Now kind of caught up with the wake of the faster race cars. The fresh tires not working as well for him. That time by, he was about 400th slower than the race leader. And either way, he's going to hope to get a few points here. He came up just short in stage 1 last week. Behind him, Dale Glessner started 14th, up here in the 6th position. Got some battling going on back here. Looks like Justin Carey to the inside. He's going to try and take away 10th position. This is for a stage point. These 3 right here under a blanket. You've got Noah Michalski, Alan Dice, all right here along with Justin Carey. And everybody wants those bonus points. It is very important in such a short season that you get as many points as possible. Look at Justin go really deep through the turn. Alan Dice a little bit wobbly there out of turn 2. He's going to try and move past Noah Michalski. He's got the inside groove. Right behind them, Tony Baird, Nick Alves, who's closed up the gap. Maybe Nick can get up there into the 10th position before it's all said and done. But plenty of green flag racing right now, and it is all Keith Mayato at the front, able to hold off the advances of Mark Emerson, Seth Hatchel, and now Josiah Vincent kind of slotting into line in terms of lap time. He was a 10th slower than Mayato last time. So Keith Mayato looking for his first victory here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. He's won in a lot of leagues across iRacing, and including the Podium Esports Series, various different series that they've had, as well as the Virtual Racing League, Somo Racing League, Top Fuel Racing League. Lots of great series here on iRacing. Keith has found himself in the winner's circle at the end of them, and looking to add a stage win here tonight to his list of accomplishments. Right now, Josiah Vincent starting to lose a bit of ground. He was right around 0.8 of a second back, and right now he is 1.4. So fading just a little bit here at the tail end of the stage after working so hard. Now it looks like Stravato starting to fade as well. Here comes Glessner looking back to the inside. This is for that 5th position, and right now not able to make the move work. Here comes Ryan Gemmel closing in from behind as well. And the number 6 car up here in the 7th position. Started in 3rd and fell all the way back outside the top 30 early on after a lap 1 mistake, and has recovered very nicely, able to survive the crashes towards the back of the field. Once again, that 10th position, Justin Carey able to hang on to it for now, but they're starting to reel in Nick Starling in that 9th spot. Nick can use all the bonus points that he got, or can get, as last week not a successful outing at Daytona. He finished right towards the back of the field after getting knocked out in that kind of freak accident in the tri-oval. And Alan Dice, Nick Alves not able to chase down Justin Carey just yet, but definitely not out of reach. Still a couple laps to go as Keith Mayato across the start-finish line. Lap 49 goes on the board. I think it may be the yellow flag thrown at the end of lap 50. So still a little ways to go, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to challenge him. But right now, look at this battle. AJ Stravato lost out to Dale Glessner. And here comes Ryan Gemmel, going to try and take away the 6th position and continue his climb back towards the front. Stravato seems to have stalled out with the nose damage now, and unable to really move forward past the 5th position. As right now, lap 50 on the board, Keith Mayato look like he is on his way to stage win number 1 this season. Last week it was Ryan Gemmel winning stage 1. Stage 2 was Safe Ferris, and stage 1 here tonight, it is going to be Keith Mayato. And so far, Team V Speed, Team Red Speed by association have swept all of the stages and the win this season. So Keith Mayato going to win stage number 1. And your stage results showing right here. Keith Mayato in first position. He gets 10 bonus points and the playoff point for winning the stage. Mark Emerson second, Seth Hatchel third, Josiah Vincent in fourth, Dale Glessner in fifth. Sixth was AJ Stravato. Seventh was Ryan Gemmel. Eighth was Chris Samard. Ninth, Nick Starling. And 10th was Justin Carey, rounding out your points earners in stage number 1. And so that does it for stage number 1. We're going to head to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with stage number 2.
Hey, honey.
It's happening. The baby's coming.
Okay, I'm on the way.
Hey, buddy. You ready for the big game?
You're gonna be there, right, Dad?
You can count on me. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hey, honey, Josh's flight landed early. He'll be here about 6:30. Can you make it?
Okay. I'm on my way.
We've got total gridlock out there this afternoon.
The average American spends over 40 hours a year, nearly 2 full days, stuck in traffic on our broken roads and bridges, while our lives move full speed ahead. It doesn't have to be this way.
Where is he?
Husband's on his way.
It's time for Washington to get America moving again by finally funding our country's infrastructure.
Where's Mom?
Tell Washington to fund America's infrastructure, because life won't wait.
Boston Web Marketing is New England's largest full-service web marketing company specializing in SEO, SEM, website design, social media management, reputation management, and more. Founded in 2009, we have rapidly expanded and are able to service small to large clients nationally as well as worldwide. We are a long-standing Google partner with a large team of SEO specialists, certified AdWords professionals, web designers, social media experts, and web marketing gurus. Our team provides excellent, knowledgeable, and highly effective web marketing services. Contact us today to get started. 617-676-8109. www.getfoundquick.com.
And back at the racetrack now, we'll do a quick recap of everything that's happened so far. Four cautions in tonight's race, this one being for the stage. And just one lead change now, 2 lead changes as Mark Emerson takes over the top spot through the pit cycle. And caution lights still on the pace car. But it has been an exciting race so far. Keith Mayato winning stage number 1. Your pole sitter AJ Stravato getting caught up in a wreck towards the back of the pack after trying some pit strategy, trying to take tires early on. But right now he has pitted 3 times and only get, I believe, 6 sets of tires in total here tonight. So it could be a close one here for AJ trying to make it to the end on those tires. And definitely a lot of excitement here so far for race number 2 of the season. We have currently 29 drivers on the lead lap. Robert Gilmore, first car, a lap down, and he is 4 laps down. Still going to have to do a little bit of work to get back on that lead lap. And we've got Brandon Vasquez in the chat here, and he got in an incident with Safe Fares. Obviously, a bit frustrated. That car has seen better days. Great paint scheme, kind of torn up, and he did make a great save before getting caught up in the action there. And he will unfortunately not have the finish that he would like here tonight, but there are a few more races left, to say the least. So got a chance next week and the one after that. Always an opportunity to redeem yourself. As right now it is Mark Emerson going to be leading the charge on this at the start of this stage. We're going to be going to lap 100 for the end of stage number 2, and then 70 more laps after that, as the drivers here trying to manage that tire wear, manage their track position, and it can be very difficult at a track such as Las Vegas, where it's pretty slick here today and also very abrasive, and they are doing a good job so far. A few drivers having some issues, but seem to have kind of sorted it out, as it is Emerson Hatchel on that front row, going to get us going for stage number 2. Pace car going to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road, and green flag back in the air. Mark Emerson, great jump. Look at AJ Stravato looking to the inside of Dale Glessner, and he's going to get past him before they get to the start-finish line. Not sure if that's going to be an issue with the admins here, but definitely moved down below the white line and changed lanes there, I think, before the start-finish line, but it's possible Glessner also moved up to let him have that. But he is going to find himself in the top 5 and now going to challenge to the inside of Seth Hatchel. Not going to be able to get past him just yet. Look at these cars wobbling. We saw Gemmel have the issue earlier on in the race with that area of the racetrack, trying to see if anybody's having any problems, but looks pretty clean right now. A lot of stragglers here out back with heavy damage. Looks like Jordan Brockle, they put the nose and hood back on that race car, so that is good to see. And hopefully they continue to apply repairs to that race car. But Mark Emerson, your leader now, he's taking over that top spot away from Keith Maiato. Going to try and stretch it out. Look at Josiah Vincent now up onto a podium position in 3rd as he passes up Seth Hatchel. That battle for the 3rd position. Hatchel looking down low. I think Josiah, a little wiggle on turn entry, might have cost him some speed. Here comes Seth down low. Going to try and take that away going into turn number 3. And looks like he will. Josiah Vincent going to hand that over to him. No qualms there, as Gemmel now putting pressure on. He's going to try and get up into that 4th position and continue his climb back towards the front. And I am not seeing AJ Stravato. What happened to AJ? Ooh, I don't know. Stravato brings it onto pit lane here. And looks like a pit stop, but oh, it is a pit stop. 30 seconds on pit lane. I'm not sure if he had to get some damage repaired or was starting to overheat or something like that. Maybe we can go on board with them here. But he's going to lose a lap and potentially another lap right now. And I'm not sure we can see the temperature as he gets passed up now by Mark Emerson. Here goes Keith Maiato. AJ Stravato trying to get back up to speed here. Not sure what's going on with the 48, but definitely some problems. I think Keith Maiato might have hit the wall. I think I saw a little right side damage possibly. Let's see if we can get a better view of this. It looks like the car is good, so no issue there, but I thought for a moment I had seen a little nick of damage. Oh, and it was for the passing under yellow. So Stravato, the move out on the restart, is going to cost him probably a chance to win tonight's race. 2 laps down, he is in the lucky dog spot, but right now 29th position, and it has just gone from bad to worse for the driver of the 48. who started on the pole and has not been able to get back up there to fight for it just yet. But up here racing in with the lead lap cars and probably going to try and race his way back onto at least one lap down, and might have a chance at it at that point. And with the controlled caution coming in a little bit, you know he'll have an opportunity to potentially get one of the two wave arounds. As Noah Michalski onto the pit lane, not sure why he's bringing it in, but he sits in his pit box now. We'll see what kind of a pit time it is for him, if it's just fuel only, or it looks like he is going to take 4 tires. I believe his first pit stop of the race. I'm not sure why he didn't bring it down, or if he had to take a wave around at the end of the stage, but he takes 4 tires on that race car and he'll roll back off. Is up here in the front, Mark Emerson about 3 or 4 tenths of a second out in front of Keith Mayato, who is under heavy pressure from his teammate Seth Hatchel. Of course, Hatchel, last week's winner at Daytona, not able to make it work just yet, as they've got pressure from Stravato, who just made it out of the pit lane, and obviously still plenty of speed in that car. But right now it is the V-Speed Camaros from 2nd to 5th, following up their performance after last week. But out in front of them this time it is Mark Emerson leading the way. And take a look at Nick Starling once again up here in the 7th position. The American Trucking Association's number 99 Toyota Camry, as he is out in front of Josiah Vincent on this run so far. Justin Carey up here in the 9th position. Good run for him as well. Eric Gallion, who's maintained his position up here inside the top 10. Nick Alves, Safe Ferris behind him. Safe charging up towards the from the back after causing an incident earlier. We see Safe make some aggressive moves, and sometimes that's the result, but trying to improve on that hopefully this year compared to last year, where we saw him have some issues. But ultimately very, very fast driver. We'll see what he can do here as he works to the inside of Nick Alves, and he will drive right on past Nick. Not going to fight with him all that hard, and Safe able to clear him and move up into that 11th position. Next target is Eric Gallion, the number 33. I think I saw a car back there. That's the 80 of Faircloth, who is a bit off the pace right now. He's racing it up here with Timmy Emanuele in the Viking City Motorsports cars. They make a little bit of contact out of turn 4. This is just inside the top 20. Emanuele rides 20th, and Faircloth riding in that 19th position. In front of them, Eric Lambert, Michael Newman. That is 17th and 18th that they are battling for. Up in front of them, Eric Hutton, Jeremiah Vincent. Look at Hutton. That car is a little bit off, but he is still wheeling it around here up in the 15th position. And both these cars with some damage, costing them some straightaway speed, I'm sure. And they are right on top of each other, though, back here, 15th, 16th position. And right now, about 6.5 seconds off your leader as they go side by side. Jeremiah Vincent, he'll take over that spot. And his car a little bit cleaner than Eric's right now. I think he might be able to drive away. But the battle up front has tightened back up. Mayato now within a car length and a half of Mark Emerson. Keith with a lot of open wheel experience here on iRacing, and really knows how to work that draft, but we'll see what he can do in these stock cars around Las Vegas. Seth Hatchel right there in his wake, and then AJ Stravato, he's still working to try and get up there and get one of those 2 laps back. He's now not the lucky dog, so he'll need to get past Noah Michalski, who just pitted about 6 laps ago. Stravato up here just so close to being able to get one of those laps back, but not quite close enough. Still 2 cars between him and the leader. And, oh, maybe a little touch off the wall there for Seth Hatchel. He at least lost some momentum. Lost about a car length to Mayato, but still all right on top of each other. This is a heck of a battle for the lead, as now here goes Hatchel looking to the inside and Mayato looking to the inside of Emerson. We are 3 wide for the moment. Looks like Hatchel going to back out of it. He'll roll back up to the high lane. Here comes Mayato looking to the inside. This is the challenge for the race lead. Mayato says it's time to go. And oh, the 32 of Emerson, he's getting a little bit sideways up there next to him, trying to wheel that thing around that high lane. Not going to make it work just yet, though, as Mayato able to lead that lap. And 32 going to keep him down the racetrack a little bit here into turn number 1. Can Keith get that car to roll the low line, as here comes the 32 of Emerson with the charge back up high. They are still side by side down the backstretch. Down into the corner, 32 starts pinching off the 36 just a little bit, and that's what you got to do is, oh, they're both squirrely. Mayato able to keep it straight. What a save, as here comes Samard closing in on the top 3 as well, but Hatchel able to go to the outside now. And this is going to be for that second spot. I think Keith has the speed to go up there and take the lead away, but he's going to have to time it just right, and Emerson starting to struggle a little bit with the handling of that race car. Saw a car down low on the backstretch. I think Tony Baird made some contact with the outside wall, and he drops to the 14th position now. Bad Cat Felix cheering on the 3 of Eric Lambert and the 33 of Eric Gallion. Eric Gallion in the 10th position. Eric Lambert in 18th right now. Gallion having a great run here tonight. But up front, it is still a battle for that race lead. Mark Emerson leading Seth Hatchel, but now the car is separated by a few car lengths. And Mark Emerson now up from 4th position. He has led 21 laps, which I believe is going to be second most to Keith Mayato at this point in the race. And Seth Hatchel right here behind him, he has not yet led. This is the highest he's run all race long in that second position. Mayato leading 40 laps after starting in the 2nd position. He's trying to fight his way back up there. A little mistake out of turn 4 a few laps ago cost him the 2nd spot. Right behind them, you may see AJ Stravato, but he is in 29th right now, 2 laps down after a penalty for changing lanes before the start-finish line and passing to the inside below the start-finish line. So the 48 has some adversity to overcome here, and it's going to be more and more difficult as laps wind down. Still a lot of time in this race for cautions to take wave rounds and perhaps get a lucky dog, but right now not in the lucky dog position. That would be Noah Michalski, 1 lap down, kind of at the tail end of the field right here. And Robert Gilmore has taken it to the pit lane, looking to get some more repairs done. Maybe they'll slap the hood back on that car. 4.5 minutes on pit lane so far and down 13 laps. It's going to be an effort to get that thing to finish, but we'll see what he can do and if he can gain any points before it's all said and done. And oh, look at this, a battle for the lead now. Seth Hatchel, a huge run out of turn 4. He's going to go right past the 32 of Emerson. And Seth Hatchel moves to the top spot for the first time tonight. Last week's winner at Daytona, he takes over the lead here at Las Vegas. And let's see how that happened. What happened with the 32? This is a couple laps ago, or just the last lap. Hatchel there in second. You can take a look at Mark Emerson. Just a little bit sideways, and that allowed Hatchel to get the run that he needed. And what a run there, and that's going to give him the top spot. Also saw the 23 of Brandon Vasquez bring it onto the racetrack, but back onto pit lane right now. Trying to get more of that damage repaired. They put the spoiler on the back of it, which is nice to see, but still missing the front and rear clips from that race car. Take a look here at Safe Ferris, who's up to the 8th position. A very, very good recovery after causing the wreck a few cautions ago. He is charged from the rear of the field and now within striking distance of Nick Starling in that 7th position. And Nick has had a very quiet top 10 run here tonight. Definitely good to see him carry over some of his mile-and-a-half track speed from last year to this season. And I know he's been working on a few things to improve even more so, but doing a great job right around the halfway point of this race. He's under fire now from Safe, who, like I said, has climbed from the rear. He's going to look to the inside, and I think Nick, he's going to let him right on past. He's raced enough around Safe to know that it'd be kind of dangerous to throw the block, but he is going to let him go and conserve those tires, conserve some fuel, because it could be very close to the end of this stage on fuel. And we'll have to see what happens with that in terms of strategy, and if anyone elects to bring it down early. Now the battle is on for second. Keith Mayato, he's reeled in the 32 of Emerson once again. You see Mark get a little bit loose there down low, and the Rolex machine starting to lose touch with Hatchel, the number 8. And Mayato looking for an opportunity. He's going to cut down low here, and he'll get right underneath, but look at the wiggle from the back of that race car. But now alongside, as he's able to keep the power down, and into turn number 3, Mayato looking like he's going to be able to take away that second spot. I think he will this time. He has not yet cleared him, as Emerson still fights back up high, and he is right along the quarter panel, but Mayato pretty much clear. These two very familiar with each other from Virtual Racing League, and Mayato still not able to clear him. Looks like Emerson with that charge on the high side able to keep it out in front. Mayato having trouble keeping it pointed in the right direction down there on the low line. He'll drop back to the 3rd position. In the 4th position, we've got Chris Simard 5th, Dale Glessner, Ryan Gemmel in 6th, Safe Ferris in 7th, and Nick Starling 8th, Josiah Vincent 9th, and Eric Gallion rounding out the top 10. We're going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break, and we'll be right back with more Green Flag Racing.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing, with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
And back at the racetrack now, a man on the mission is Safe Ferris. He is absolutely flying right now, 5th position, and he has been able to pass up affiliate team drivers Chris Simard and Ryan Gemmel in the V-Speed machines, and he sets his sight on his teammate Dale Glessner, the Red Speed number 10. And Safe absolutely showing off the speed here tonight. Able to climb from the rear, and he is just driven up into the mix all on his own here on this run. It'll be 10 to go this time across the line to the end of the stage. And right now it is Seth Hatchel out in front, Mark Emerson a little over a half-second behind, and Hatchel looking for a stage win to add to his race win coming last week at Daytona. Mayato with the stage win already here tonight. And it has been a very impressive showing from the Red Speed and V Speed drivers so far this season. They're consistently up here in the top 6 or 7, and showing that they're running for the championship this year. Weren't able to get any drivers in the Final Four last season, but with more drivers in the field this year, they've got a better opportunity to possibly do that. A couple drivers that were in the Final Four last year, you can see right now we're looking at Josiah Vincent, who came up runner-up in the standings and currently riding in the 9th position. Jeremiah Vincent also was in the finale last year. He rides 13th. Eric Hutton here in the 14th position. Was not in it, but was in the running. He had a couple race wins last year and a little bit of damage, but still a good run so far. And Nick Starling was in the Final Four as well. He had 2 wins last year and up here inside the top 10. Trying to take the 8th position away from Chris Samard. Of course, troubles for AJ Stravato documented well here tonight. 2 laps down, 29th position, but the car in pretty good shape. And he's been able to keep up with the top 5 drivers, even with some damage on the car. And he did lead 13 laps here, starting on the pole, so he'll get some bonus points for that. But really needs the finish here tonight. We'll have the points graphics coming up starting, I believe, next race. That way we can help you kind of follow along with where drivers are entering into the night in terms of their points position. Look at this, Dale Glessner, though, almost making contact. His teammate, Safe Fair, is really tracking him down. Let's go on board with Safe, the ATA in-car camera. See Safe really wheeling it tonight, and that car on rails pretty much, though. I mean, he has been driving his butt off to get up here and working that lower line, easing it out towards the wall, and just about 0.8 of a second behind his teammate right there. Very impressive performance for sure. We'll see what he can do after making contact early on with Brandon Vasquez. I don't know if Brandon is back out on the racetrack. I know he pulled out on the track for a lap or so, and that was able to bump him up 2 positions in the standings, up to 32nd. But back on pit road now, almost 10 minutes. Jordan Scheffler is on the racetrack, so good to see Jordan back out here. He rides 31st and about 24 laps behind Robert Gilmore in the number 40. So he'll have to run a bit here more to gain any positions. And then it is all the way up to AJ Stravato, just 2 laps down. But now multiple drivers in front of him in the running for the lucky dog. So he's going to have to play the strategy just right here to have a chance at any more points in tonight's race. But it is looking harder and harder to gain those spots back and those laps back. Is just 2 more to go as Hatchel crosses the start-finish line to the end of stage number 2, looking like he's on his way to winning the stage. Mark Emerson over a second behind. He has finished second in the stages, or he'll have finished second in both stages, which is still a ton of points. And definitely need to consider, just running up here in the top 10 if you want a chance at advancing to that, to the playoffs here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Keith Mayato up here in the 3rd position. He won stage 1, not the same success here in stage number 2, but was fighting for the lead, got a little bit loose and lost the track position, and has not been able to pass up Mark Emerson since that point. Right behind them, that is Brett Sommers, the number 7. He goes a lap down. He's in the lucky dog position right now. Dennis Steele, the next one out in front of the leaders, but still a couple seconds separating them. And Hatchel now coming across the start-finish line. That's going to win him stage number 2. He'll go on by the 13 of Jordan Scheffler, who's well off the pace. And Hatchel going to win stage number 2. Waiting for that yellow flag to fly. And there it is, down the backstretch. Your stage results, Seth Hatchel winning stage number 2. He'll get the playoff point to add to his race win playoff points from last week. Mark Emerson 2nd in stage 2. Keith Maioto 3rd. Dale Glessner 4th. Safe Ferris 5th. Ryan Gemmell 6th. Nick Starling able to get by Chris Simard. He takes 7th. Chris Simard 8th. Josiah Vincent 9th. And Eric Gallion rounding out the top 10 in stage number 2. Some good racing by these guys. Able to go green the entire way as they catch up to the back of the pace car. The 28 of Dennis Steele able to stay on the lead lap, so that's good news for him. And that is great news for Brett Sommer, who's going to be the lucky dog on this yellow flag. And to recap now, 5 cautions, 5 total lead changes. And Seth Hatchel, Keith Maioto taking the victories here. We'll actually do our long recap. You can see it right here. 5 cautions, 5 lead changes. Keith Maioto, winner of stage 1. Seth Hatchel, winner of stage 2 as they bring it onto the pit lane. Hatchel rolls into his pit box. We saw Maioto lose some spots. May have to do with him being so close to the exit. And so, ooh, Gemmell a little overshot his pit box there. And Hatchel, a good exit. He's going to win the battle off pit road, and the battle is going to be on for 2nd there. I think Maioto got the edge over Mark Emerson. So Emerson goes from 2nd to 3rd, Maioto from 3rd to 2nd. And a few cars staying on the racetrack, trying to lead some laps. Timmy Emanuele. He has not led a lap just yet, but maybe next time around. Lyle Sulfridge right there behind him. We haven't talked much about Lyle here tonight, but a quiet run. Started 34th, right now in the 2nd spot, and probably going to bring it down the pit road here. Kevin Cornelius up in the 3rd position, electing to stay out for another lap as well. He's got the damage on that race car, and perhaps going to bring it in this time. We'll have to see. But it looks like Timmy Emanuele. See if he brings it down this time. Not going to do that, actually. Lyle Sulfridge going to bring it in. Cornelius stays out. And that will leave 2 cars yet to pit. And Seth Hatchel, if they do bring it down, will reclaim that top spot. 24 laps led for the driver at the number 8 here. It's a bit more than his half lap led last week. Oh, the 28 of Dennis Steele going a lap down. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. He was on the tail end of the lead lap. I don't know how he ended up a lap down, but maybe pitted with the leaders or just missed his opportunity to get damage repaired. And you see AJ Stravato, he's going to try and take a wave around and hope for something to happen, because otherwise he'll be bringing it down the pit lane with about 10 laps into the stage, and you got to think he's conserving some fuel inside that race car. Stravato, your pole sitter, 13 laps led. The number 48 Chevy Camaro has not had his best race in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, but you never can count that driver out. If he gets a nice yellow flag here at some point, that'll afford him the opportunity back on the lead lap. But he's going to need it to happen pretty quickly, I think, after the yellow. See the 13 of Scheffler. He gets one of his laps back. He got lapped right there at the very end of that run, but 22 laps on his tires. He'll take a wave around this time, along with Stravato, and that will put Seth Hatchel back up into the race lead, and we'll be going green this time. And who do you think is going to win here tonight? Cheer on your favorite driver. We're entering into the final stage of the race. Want to know who your votes are for tonight's event. Will it be Seth Hatchel going 2 in a row? Will it be Mark Emerson, who led a lot of Stage 2, and he's been right up here in the mix? Will it be Keith Maioto winning Stage 1, or is it going to be somebody else? Safe Ferris up into 4th. Will he be able to drive to the front here and capture his first victory in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series? Missed out on a lot of opportunities last season. He's got a good chance here with 65 laps remaining to cash in here tonight. We'll see what he can do. His green flag about to be thrown. It is Hatchel and Maioto. Good restart for Keith Maioto, but Hatchel shot out of a cannon. Looks like Maioto is going to be able to hang on to second. He drops down in front of Mark Emerson, and now the battle for third between Safe Ferris and Emerson. Thank you for the follow, Metzdorf Nation. Appreciate you tuning in. As it looks like Emerson able to take that third position away, and now everybody single file among the top 6, and then first side-by-side battle, Dale Glessner and the 33 of Eric Gallion trying to fight it out for the 7th position. Looks like Glessner going to have the advantage. He'll clear the 33, but Gallion trying to charge back on the outside, not going to get there this time as the 33 drops to 8th, and the 4 of Josiah Vincent now going to look to his inside. Oh, and a wiggle there for Glessner as Gallion now goes to the inside. A little bit of a crossover out of turn number 2, and now, oh, look at the wiggle from Josiah Vincent right in front of Ryan Gemmel, and that's going to check up the 6 and the 4. They're both going to lose some positions as here comes Eric Hutton. You saw the 98 of Tony Baird go right on past, and 3 wide through the tri-oval here down into turn 1. Gemmel stuck up high, and he's going to have to work his way back up into the top 10 right now in the 12th position. As he gets right to the back bumper of Hutton, he'll go down low and try and take that spot back away for 11th. Hutton trying to wheel that car using the high lane, and he'll hang on to the spot right now. But at the front, Keith Maioto been able to get around Seth Hatchel, and so Maioto back to the point. Hatchel trying to find a way back underneath, but not able to get there just yet. It's just about a car length between them, and then another car length and a half back to Mark Emerson, and then it's Safe Ferris and Chris Simard up here, all in this line of 5. Nick Starling has dropped back about 5 or 6 car lengths and still riding in this 6th position. A good run for him. Let's actually take a look off the nose here of Nick Starling, as you can see him starting to battle it up. Look at Safe Ferris looking to the inside of Mark Emerson. That's going to be for 3rd. Doesn't look like Safe's able to get there just yet, though. If you're enjoying the broadcast, please consider following or subscribing. You can also check us out at all of the following race links, or all of our social media links here. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We post race announcements before each and every broadcast on our Twitter and Facebook. And you can watch race replays over on YouTube at VSpeed over there on our YouTube channel. We're going to be putting up the Daytona replay this evening, hopefully. Bit of issues with the original broadcast and trying to get that all encoded and exported correctly. As look at this, the battle for 2nd now. Mark Emerson challenging to the outside of Seth Hatchel. He is going to go right up to the door panel on that number 8 car and Going to try and use the outside line leverage to his advantage. It's going to work as he moves back into second position. Mark Emerson challenging all night long to try and win this race, and he has been right up in the mix all race long. Chris Simard in fourth. He's under pressure from Safe Ferris. Looks like Safe going to try and take that fourth spot away, and that has allowed Nick Starling to reel them in just a couple more car lengths. Nick kind of biding his time back there, and look at that margin now. It was about 6-7 car lengths. Now it's down to 2 between Simard and Nick Starling. Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe 3 car lengths. But Safe Ferris touches the apron there. He gets shot up the track a little bit. And that's going to allow the 37 back to the bumper. But he's going to work the higher lane down the front stretch. Not going to challenge him for the spot. Up at the front, though, Mark Emerson all over the back bumper of Keith Mayato for the race lead. And not able to make it work just yet. He's still within striking distance, though, and we've seen Mayato have a couple issues at times tonight. If you put pressure on him to stay down low, it's been hard to work that lane throughout the race tonight, as here comes Hatchel going to try and use that lane, but not quite alongside the 32. And all these guys have to see that number 44, who's been so fast here tonight. He's up to 4th position. He's really figured it out as the race has gone on, and he's been driving the wheels off that thing. We'll see what he can do in these last little, this last little bit here. And Mad Cat Felix will definitely talk to Eric after this run if we get a caution flag. If not, may not have an opportunity to talk to him, but he has definitely had a first, a couple good first races to this season, and this race very impressive with the way the cars have been handling here tonight. Up there in the top 10 right now in 7th position, and out in front of Dale Glessner, the number 10 machine. But this race, pretty long race, 170 laps here tonight. And drivers have done a fantastic job of managing the tires. And we had a few cautions early on, but nothing in stage 2. And so far, nothing in stage 3. Hopefully I don't jinx it by saying that. But everybody doing a fantastic job of keeping the cars pointed the right direction and avoiding contact. As you see, the top 6 here, all really within striking distance. Then it's a little ways back to Gallion and Glessner. Looks like Dale Glessner going to try and take 7th away. Not able to fully clear the 33. Now he does into turn 3. So Dale Glessner up to 7th. He has had a pretty strong race here tonight, in the top 5 at times, but in the top 10 pretty much all race long. Eric Gallion up here, right where he started in the 8th position. Josiah Vincent under pressure from Ryan Gemmel. And both these guys kind of coming from the rear at different points in this race. Obviously, Josiah starting in 23rd. He had to climb from the mid-pack. And here goes Gemmel to the inside. Oh, an issue maybe for Josiah Vincent, or he's just going to let him have it. But he pulled way up the racetrack there. Gemmel obviously losing control on lap 1. Able to keep the car down in the grass and then able to climb from really the tail end of the field all the way up here back in the top 10 and up in the top 5 earlier on in the race. But some good driving, and cars pretty spread out right now except for really the top 6. They're all in a line here, and 50 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. It is anybody's race to win or lose. We'll have to see who makes a move and when they make that move. And if you are just tuning in to tonight's race, this is the American Trucking Association 250 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the second race of the season. 170 laps here tonight, and we do have stage racing here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. And those stages were at lap 50 and 100. And to recap, 5 cautions, 8 lead changes, and stage 1 going to Keith Mayato. Stage 2 to Seth Hatchel, and Keith Mayato back out in front now is Mark Emerson. Big wiggle there. That's going to check up Hatchel, who's actually going to look to the inside now and try and capitalize on the mistake. But Mark Emerson's been so good up there in that high line. He always fights back out of turn number 2, and he's going to do the same thing right here. Hatchel giving him plenty of space to work and not able to complete the pass. But down into turn 3, we'll see what he can do. Right alongside the 32, up the racetrack a little bit. He is really wheeling that thing. I want to go on board with Mark here and see what he's got going on. Can really feel that car or see that car really trying to rotate around. He's just kind of riding the balance, kind of walking a tightrope, keeping that car going the right way. But definitely slippery out there today in the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As he fights to hang on to second, Seth Hatchel all over the back bumper. And they have separated themselves now from Safe Ferris. Look at Nick Starling moving up through the pack. He's into 5th, and he's trying to make that move past Chris Samard to capture that spot. And there it is. He'll make the pass. Chris Samard dropping now to 6th in the clutches of Dale Glessner, though. He was having a good little bit of a run here. Up into 6th now, making that pass on Samard. You can see the 10, a little bit of a slide there, but definitely putting down some good lap times. He's up there in the top 5 fastest cars. Eric Gallion also running about the same time as the leader. Ryan Gemmel last time by 0.2 faster than your race leader. It will be interesting to see if he can keep up that kind of pace or will fall off at all. That time by about a 0.5 slower than the race leader, so gonna need to find a little bit more than that. He's currently 3.6 seconds behind, and it gets harder and harder as you get deeper in the pack to make up time. I want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight to V-Speed. Again, if you haven't considered doing so, please consider following or subscribing. It really helps us all out here at the channel and helps us bring you great racing content each and every week, like this series, the Below the Double Yellow Cup series. Also, you can support our partners using the link for drops down below in our channel info. And we've got some awesome new sponsors coming on board here soon as well. We'll let you know more about those probably next week during the broadcast and on our social media. But some cool partners coming along. And of course, got to give a big shout out to the sponsors for tonight's race, the American Trucking Association, as well as Below the Double Yellow podcast, who is going to be coming back online with a great guest in a couple weeks here, or in the next few weeks, I should say. So keep an eye out for their podcast to drop. It's been a little while since they've had an episode, but looking forward to hearing those guys bring some great racing content. Again, look at Safe Fair is now onto the pit lane. He's going to get service done on that race car for, it looks like, just the 2nd time tonight. Into his pit box, no problems there for the number 44 Red Speed machine. And we'll see if anybody else has brought it down. Does not look like it. Possibly Kevin Cornelius bringing it down to get some of the damage repaired, but he is 3 laps off the pace. And actually going to go another lap down as Keith Mayato going to fly right on past him. But Kevin doing a pretty solid job of keeping that car at least on track and in one piece, making up a few spots with all the damage that he has. But look at the battle for second as they made their way around him. Emerson and Hatchel, I think, were side by side for a moment, and that allowed the 32 of Emerson to get out in front of Hatchel, who had to check up just a little bit. But Safe Fair is, remember he said he wasn't going to do any short pitting this season with the stages and everything, but now that it's the final stage, I guess the short pit might be the way to go. He'll make up a lot of time on the front side, and we'll have to see if he can hang on to the lead once it all cycles out. I think he should be in the lead. Nick Starling cycling up to fourth here. Chris Samard just getting back up to speed as well. He was on the pit lane. And Justin Carey also brought it onto pit lane. He's just making his way back on the racetrack. And all the drivers who have pitted are a lap down now. Side by side for second, Hatchel continues to work that low line. Just not able to find the speed he needs, but good run out of turn 4 this time. And across the start-finish line, Hatchel with the edge. Not sure he's going to be able to complete the pass, though, as this is probably the most difficult spot to do it. On this end of the racetrack, you can see the 32 keeps it wound up high. Hatchel not able to use the extent of the racetrack, and the 32 able to get the run back along that wall. But pretty much dead even down into turn 3, so Hatchel making some progress. And the 32 of Emerson starts to struggle on this end of the racetrack. Here comes Keith Maiato, though, your race leader, to the pit lane. We'll see if anybody else joins him here. A bit of an early stop, potentially, but he may set the tone for the rest of the drivers, and he might have an advantage knowing he'll be out there on those fresh tires for at least one lap before everyone else. But Seth Hatchel and Emerson fighting for that race lead. Hatchel led the lap. And I have a feeling Seth may bring it in this time. Nope, they're both going to stay out there. Emerson with the edge. He's going to take the lead back away. And here comes Dale Glessner to the pit lane. So he'll bring it in a Team Red Speed machine. Tony Baird was also on the pit lane. And so Safe Fair is up to speed. Keith Maiato right here is going to come out way behind him. And also Chris Samard even going to leapfrog Maiato. But Glessner on the pit lane. I don't see anyone else bring it in, except here comes Mark Emerson now. He's going to lock it up getting into the pit road entry. But a good job getting down to speed there. We'll see if he does have any kind of penalty. I also see Jeremiah Vincent. Nope. Josiah Vincent, rather, on the pit lane. Also, Eric Hutton going to bring it down, the number 77 machine. And keeping an eye out for anybody else. Glessner with a long stop here. Not sure what happened with Dale, but he has been on pit road for almost 45 seconds, so maybe a bad speeding penalty for Dale Glessner. And that is going to cost him what otherwise would have been a pretty good run. 54 seconds in the box. That is just unfortunate. Hatchel now on the pit lane. We'll see how things cycle out for him. Eric Gallion brings it down. Eric Lambert brings it down. And Nick Starling, your race leader right now, the number 99, showing the way. And he's going to bring it down the pit lane. That's going to hand the lead off to Ryan Gemmel to lead his first laps of the night. And right there behind him, that's Safe Ferris, the number 44, who's trying to get back on the lead lap. And he will do so. Right behind him, Chris Samard. And Samard with about the same tires as Safe. Those two really trying to pull the leapfrog strategy. And behind them, Keith Maiato not far behind as he works to the inside of Kevin Cornelius and now to the outside of his teammate Gemmel, who brings it to the pit lane. And how long do the other drivers stay out? Just 9 drivers having yet to pit. Make that 8 drivers as Alves stays out. He will inherit the race lead. Jeremiah Vincent second, going to stay on the track as well. Alan Dice brings it down the pit lane, the number 57 car. Lyle Sulfridge remaining on the racetrack. He will be one of the last drivers on the lead lap. Currently about 11.7 seconds behind Nick Alves, who shows the way. Brett Sommers also out here on the racetrack. These drivers all have about 37 laps on the tires, so they're going to be a bit off pace. And Chris Samard currently showing as the net leader. But here comes Mayato with the undercut. He's going to be able to get to the inside, and I think it's going to be pretty easy with the fresher tires. He'll go right on by Chris Samard and Safe Ferris. And he just waited about 4 extra laps than those guys and able to drive right on past him. Looks like Mark Beverly, Nick Alves, all on the pit lane. There's a car that's slow on the front. That is Kyle Payne, who may have an issue. He just pitted 5 laps ago. I'm not sure what's going on with the 68, but big right side damage for Kyle Payne. And right now 3 laps down in 29th. Another driver to keep an eye on, AJ Stravato. He has not yet pitted, but he has gone a 2nd lap down. So the wave around, or actually rather, he pitted a little while ago. Is maybe a car having an issue here in turn 3? I thought I saw some smoke. Don't know who that was, but Dennis Steele right here in front of your race leader, or not race leader, Jeremiah Vincent has yet to pit. So it's Jeremiah Vincent, Dennis Faircloth, Michael Newman, Lyle Sulfridge, and Brett Sommers, the top 5. All of those drivers having yet to bring it down the pit lane. And this is really going to hurt them. Not going to be enough time to be able to get up there and race for a win, but I think Jeremiah just trying to take as much advantage of the lead as he can and hoping something happens. But nothing happening just yet, as he finds himself out front running a 32.1 to Keith Mayato's 30.9. And that gap going to shrink and probably disappear in the next 10 laps if he can keep it out there that long. And we have now 15 cars back on the lead lap. We saw Josiah Vincent just drive right on past. He is the most recent of those cars. I think Keith Mayato maybe played this perfectly. Pitted a few laps after his competitors, but with the race lead that he had, and no mistakes at all. He has a pretty good margin now, 1.5 seconds over Safe Ferris, who is just a couple car lengths in front of Chris Samard. And then it's a little ways back to Mark Emerson, Seth Hatchel, who stayed out a couple laps longer than Mayato and obviously did not have a great pit cycle, because they find themselves really quite a ways behind, almost 3 seconds behind Mayato. They're going to have to try and work together to catch up to Keith, but that is a pretty good margin to try and gain with only slightly fresher tires. But last time by, they were about 0.3 faster, so it is not impossible for them to do it. It's just going to be, it's going to be very difficult with the way the draft works in this game, or in this sim, rather. And right now, Jeremiah Vincent remaining on the racetrack. He's got almost 4 seconds over Dennis Faircloth. Got 44 laps on the tires. And he is just hoping for that yellow flag to fly. He's saying, come on, there's oil on the track. There's something out there. And I don't think he's going to get it right now. Dennis Faircloth, though, up into second as he races it up with Dennis Steele, who is off the lead lap. Also the 24 of Alves in the 18th position. He's going to try and take get a lap back on the number 80. And Michael Newman up here still. He's going to bring it to the pit lane finally. 45 laps on those tires. And that moves Lyle Sulfridge up here to the 3rd position. So Lyle playing a little bit of a strategy game as well. just about 2.5 seconds out in front of Keith Mayato. So Keith is going to come past him, and then Lyle will have to make that pit stop, and he will lose over a lap, maybe a lap and a half in the process of doing so. But probably around where he would have cycled out to regardless, and he'll have fresher tires as well. So we'll see what he's able to do with that strategy. Brett Sommers back in 5th. He has yet to pit as well. Right side damage on the number 7. Definitely hindering his performance here tonight after a really good start. Running up in the top 15 for a good portion of the night. He is going to find himself probably outside the top 20 as the field makes their way up to him. There goes Mark Emerson now, and Seth Hatchel trying to clear on by. And they will do so. Move Emerson to 5th, Hatchel to 6th. Jeremiah Vincent still hanging tough out front. He has yet to bring it down, but 48 laps on those tires and fuel. I don't know how much farther he can go. So we haven't seen anyone really make any stops longer than about 50 laps. And right now he is still hanging tough though. 5.2 seconds out in front of Dennis Faircloth. He's increased that margin pretty significantly, running 0.7 a lap faster than Dennis, who has a bit of damage on the car. And then Keith Mayato running 31.7, about a half second faster than Jeremiah. And it's very possible Keith took just a little bit less fuel than the other drivers to shorten up the pit time. Although his pit time looks like it's about the same as Mark Emerson, it's just a better cycle. And these guys are starting to reel him in. It's now down to about 1.5 seconds separating Mayato and Emerson. And then Seth Hatchel right there on the back bumper, obviously. He's still tracking with the 32. And they've got a little ways to go to have a chance at it. It's going to be interesting because they do have fresher tires. They're not running really any faster laps, though. That time by Mayato at 63 and Emerson at 57, Hatchel at 55. So they are a little faster, but I don't think they're going to have the time at that kind of pace to get up there and challenge for it. And I really wonder if Jeremiah Vincent can somehow stretch it. I just don't see how it's possible. He'd have to go 65 laps on a 75 or 70% fuel load. But he is really stretching it right now. 52 laps on the tires and the fuel, and really just about a half second a lap slower than Keith Mayato. So if things were to stay as they are and he can somehow stretch it on fuel, he'd go on to win this race. About a 9-second gap between himself and Mayato. That would take at a half second a lap. It'd be 18 laps, and there's not that many left. Dennis Faircloth, though, falling into the clutches of Mayato. It'll be probably this next time by. You see Keith right there behind him. I just don't think they can make it on fuel from here. It would be very interesting if they could, but here comes Jeremiah Vincent. Maybe heard a hiccup from the engine. He's going to bring it down, and that will surrender the lead. We'll see if Dennis Faircloth, he's going to bring it down as well. So, oh, look at the slide by Keith Mayato, though. That's going to cost him some time. And right behind him is the 3 of Eric Lambert, who is on, he is 1 lap down right now, but right there behind Mayato, and maybe a little fresher tires, so he might be able to get back on past. And how much is that going to play a role in the 32 and the 8 having any chance at catching up? As they ride 1.3 and 1.6 seconds behind respectively. But you see the 2 of Michalski coming out of the pit lane right in the way of Emerson. And that cost Mark a little bit of time, about 1/10 of a second actually. But he is working that higher lane, has not been the best on the long run here tonight, but he has slightly fresher tires. Just 2 or 3 laps over Mayato. And look at this pack of cars in front of him, though. Jeremiah Vincent Going to roll off the pit lane. He's going to pull right up in front of the 32 as well, and Hatchel unable to navigate around very easily. He's going to lose a lot of time right there. So this is playing a big factor in these guys trying to catch up. Hatchel lost about 0.2 of a second from the 9 car getting in the way right there. And he's going to have a hard time passing. Oh, look at the 68 of Kyle Payne sliding around the apron. No caution. And it's Jeremiah Vincent, who is a lap down right now in 17th, going to try and work his way back on the lead lap. 32 of Emerson a little bit sideways right there. And he has actually reeled in Mayato another 1/10 of a second, so it is very possible that Mark Emerson could get up there and challenge, as Mayato letting some of these lap cars on by who have fresher tires than he does. But it would not surprise me to see that 9 car get up there and make the air a little bit dirty for the 36 to help the 32 get up in the mix. Keith really sideways that time out of turn number 4. 10 laps to go at the line. Is Keith Mayato going to be able to hang on to it? He's got older tires by just a couple laps than the cars behind him. Here comes Jeremiah Vincent, going to go to the inside, and he'll get back on the lead lap in the 16th position now. Eric Lambert, first car, 1 lap down, right there behind them. But Jeremiah on basically fresh tires, 3 laps on those tires. And look at the gap now between Mayato and Emerson, just 0.9 of a second. He is reeling him in now. Mayato losing the handle on that race car as Emerson about 1/10.5 faster that time by. He has held the tires on that car very well in this run. And he might be close enough by the end of this thing to have a shot at it. But he's got to get around Eric Lambert. We'll see if Lambert lets him go or plays any kind of a role in this attempt to catch up. He might actually be able to provide a little bit of drafting assistance. Let's see across the line what the lap times look like. Mayato an 87, Emerson an 81. That's only 0.06 of a second. It's not going to be enough. He's going to need more than that. Can Mayato hang on? As you can see, the top 3 all within 1.2 seconds. And Mayato still hanging tough, around 0.8 of a second out in front. And that is the margin looking at it from above. Emerson not able to get past Eric Lambert in the dirty air, I think playing a big role in Mark's ability to move forward. But he's going to work a little higher groove. A 3 car right there in front of him. He's going to get loose. I think that might just let the 32 of Emerson right on past. We'll see what he does here. He'll run the high lane once again. The 3 of Eric Lambert down low, trying to hang on to that race car. You can see he's very loose, and that's going to allow Seth Hatchel also to try and make the move around. Now it's clean track between them, but also that the 68 or the 84 Brockle. Oh, he's going to make contact with Keith Mayato. Headed into turn number 1. That is Jordan Brockle, who just got tagged by Mayato. Not sure if they kind of came together or what happened exactly, but that cost Keith Mayato a lot of time. Looks like the gap now down to 0.4 of a second as he had to regather that race car, and it'll be 5 laps to go. All 3 cars now under 0.75 of a second, so things just picked up as Mayato now in danger of potentially giving this one away. And they're going to put a lap on AJ Stravato, who has just had a bit of a disaster of a race, but he's still going to end up inside the top 25, I think. He's got 5 to go. I think he'll have to be able to get all the fuel he can out of it. But look at this. Mark Emerson, 1 car length, the difference between Mayato and Emerson, and Hatchel just 2 or 3 car lengths back from them. Mark Emerson and Seth Hatchel have tracked down Keith Mayato through the lap traffic somehow. Here goes Mark Emerson to the inside. Going to try and take the lead away. 4 laps remaining. Mayato with the advantage on the outside. Can he hang on to it as they work down the backstretch? The side draft coming into play. Emerson going right up against the door as they dive into turn number 3. And here comes Seth Hatchel right to the back bumper of the 32. And this has been so hard to pass down here, but Emerson gonna clear Mayato. 3 laps remaining. Can Mayato charge back? Does Hatchel have any chance of getting up there and battling with the 32? Now Seth Hatchel looks down low. Look at the dive down into turn number 1. How did he make that thing stick down there? He goes to the inside of Mayato. It'll be 2 laps to go next time by in the battles for second as Mark Emerson has gotten around Mayato. And now here goes Hatchel around Mayato. Seth Hatchel looking for 2 wins in a row. Mark Emerson looking to deny him. And it will be 2 laps remaining. Mayato not a threat anymore. He's fallen behind. And he will probably come up short here tonight unless these two take each other out. Here goes Hatchel. Sends it down low to the inside lane. And he's got that car hooked up now to the inside out of turn 2. Not going to be able to make it work as Emerson uses the high lane and gets the run. Here they go down into turn number 3. What does Emerson do? Is he going to stick with the high lane? Does he throw the block on Hatchel? And he will get down to the low lane. Seth Hatchel just a car length back. White flag going to fly. And it is Mark Emerson and Seth Hatchel battling for the race lead for the win. White flag in the air. Here goes Hatchel. He's going to send it down low again. They've battled back and forth all race long. Out of turn number 2. He can't get the grip down, but it's still side by side down the backstretch. Emerson with the advantage into turn 3. Hatchel's going to have to really send it in here. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Mark Emerson with the drive out of turn number 3. Hatchel, big slide. They're going to hang on to it, though. Mark Emerson down the front straightaway. He's going to win at Las Vegas. What a battle between those two. What a finish among the top 3. Give me more of that. Mark Emerson, he holds on to it. What a battle between himself and Seth Hatchel. And Emerson, who came up short in both stages, finishing second in both. He wins the race and leads 30 laps on the way to doing so. What a battle. So he is going to burn it down here on the front stretch. What a drive. It looked like he had no chance with just about 5 or 6 laps to go. And then Mayato making the contact with Jordan Brockel ultimately allowed both he and Hatchel to get on by. And Emerson, what a drive to get up there. Strategy was just right. As we had cars being pushed across the start-finish line. I'm not sure who that was. Maybe AJ Stravato. But congratulations to Mark Emerson. What a race and what a finish for the driver of the number 32. He wins at Las Vegas. And we're going to be going to a commercial break. And we'll come back with the post-race interviews.
V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to be broadcasting the Below the Double Yellow 2020 Cup Series, starting July 30th, Thursdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time.
Hey, honey.
It's happening. The baby's coming.
Okay, I'm on the way.
Hey, buddy. You ready for the big game?
You're gonna be there, right, Dad?
You can count on me. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hey, honey, Josh's flight landed early. He'll be about 6:30. Can you make it?
Okay. I'm on my way.
We've got total gridlock out there this afternoon.
The average American spends over 40 hours a year, nearly 2 full days, stuck in traffic on our broken roads and bridges, while our lives move full speed ahead. It doesn't have to be this way.
Where is he?
Husband's on his way.
It's time for Washington to get America moving again by finally funding our country's infrastructure.
Where's Mom?
Tell Washington to fund America's infrastructure, because life won't wait.
And back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling up our race winner in just a moment. Let's see if we got him here. Mark Emerson, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, Mark, what a battle there between yourself and Seth Hatchel, flying through the field, trying to catch up to Keith Maotto with some time remaining, and you were able to get there, and you held him off over those last couple laps, and you were up in the mix all race long. How'd you get it done here tonight?
Well, I didn't really have much practice since I showed up right when qualifying started, so it was pretty much just previous experience helped me there a lot, and then also keeping the car clean, not getting involved in any incidents. Like if I would have hit on that first caution with AJ, I'm pretty sure I would have had damage back in those wrecks, so lucked out right there.
Yes, sir. Definitely a bit of a race of attrition early on in this. We saw a lot of cars get involved in, one or two of the wrecks, and that left probably half the field undamaged, but everybody else kind of off the pace, and you were able to keep the car clean. We had the stages kind of coming into play, and fuel mileage and tire strategy. What was your approach to the race, coming in, and how did you manage all that?
I wasn't actually anticipating even being at the front to start with, since I didn't have practice, and I was kind of just hoping just to ride around and get a top 10. But once I saw that I qualified up in the top of the field, and I just knew I just needed to be consistent, not overdrive the car too hard, and I'd be perfectly fine. And turns out it worked.
It definitely worked. You win, you lead 30 laps, and you got a lot of stage points as well, finishing, I believe, runner-up in both stages. So that's going to go a long way to helping, bolster you in the points. But the win locks you into the playoffs. So what does it mean to get that knocked out early?
Oh, I didn't even realize that, to be honest. Well, that makes everything a lot easier, so I don't have to worry about points. But I wasn't thinking I was going to have to worry about points to begin with.
Yeah, definitely been very strong here the first couple races, and you top it off with the win tonight. We go to Road America next week, and what are your thoughts on heading out there?
I'm pretty excited for road course racing. I usually do typically pretty well at it. Never been too weak at it. Always finish pretty well, so I feel like I'm going to do well there.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see if you can follow up the win here with one there on a very different style of racing, but you take home the victory tonight after starting up in the 4th position. Anybody want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I want to give a shout out to American Trucking Association, the Illinois Trucking Association, Below the Double Yellow Podcast, Boston Web Marketing, Lazy Days Racing, Simulator Anonymous, Chuck Hill Trucking, and of course, V-Speed for broadcasting these, as well as Jeremiah Vincent because he saved my ass getting into here.
Yeah, and good thing he did for sure. Congrats on the victory. A heck of a race for you, man. And we'll see what you can do next week.
Thank you.
All right, that was Mark Emerson, your race winner here tonight. Let's go to second place finisher, Mr. Seth Hatchel. So we pull him up into the booth. Seth Hatchel, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Seth, you come up just about a car length short there at the end of this thing, but man, what a run up through the field, up through traffic, and you even won a stage on your way to running up or finishing runner-up here tonight. But anything you could have done differently to maybe capture the win?
Yeah, I'm a little upset with myself the way I ran that last run. I don't know if pinning earlier would have helped or not. I know Keith had a pretty good lead there. I should have just drove better that last run. I blew the right rear off it, and then with about 10 to go, I was trying to see if I could bring it back, and I was surprised I even was able to race against him there at the end. But just got to do better about keeping the rear tires on it there towards the end of the race, not letting the pressure get to me. But besides that, I'm happy with the speed we had. These can be sort of hit or miss. It's hard to tell in practice unless you get a lot of cars, and there's a lot of different circumstances with lap cars and whatnot. But happy with that, and now we got to do some practice for Road America.
Yeah, definitely a great way to follow up your victory. Last week at Daytona, you come up second here, and you lead 29 laps, win a stage, so definitely off to a strong start for the 2021 season. And what are your thoughts on Road America? Have you gotten any practice time in, or what are your thoughts on going out there?
It ought to be interesting. I'll probably struggle the most because I still use my right foot for braking, and that really hurts you a lot there for transitioning in the braking zones and whatnot. So I may see if I can try and figure that out before we get there. But I'll definitely be putting in a lot of hours into Road America, making sure that we're quick there, because you won't get the benefit really of besides the stage cautions, any cautions besides that. There'll be local yellows, so we gotta make sure we got a bunch of speed for there.
Yeah, definitely going to have to work on that. I've never raced there. I think I've barely even watched a race there. So we'll see how you do. See if you can capture another podium to open up, top 3 finishes for the first 3 races. Would be a way to start for sure. But you lead 29 laps after starting in the 5th position and finish runner-up here tonight. Anybody want to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, I got to thank you, Adam, for doing a great job with the broadcast. I got to thank the sponsor for this race, American Trucking Association, and all of our league sponsors, Nick and all the admins for doing a good job. All putting on a good race. It was fun, even though it was frustrating. It was definitely fun being out there, and my team V-Speed.
Awesome, Seth. Well, congrats on a runner-up here tonight. Great way to finish after the win last week as well. So go celebrate, and we'll catch you next week.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right, that was Seth Hatchel in the 2nd position, Team V-Speed. Not able to go back-to-back, but about as close as you can get. And let's take a look at Keith Maiato. Keith Maiato, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Report.
Well, Keith, you were real close there at the end. Looked like you might have had it in the bag, and then a little contact with one of the lap cars allowed those guys to get within your drafting or within your draft. And kind of the same situation as last week. You basically, you had the lead late in the going, and you end up a couple spots back. But man, what a race for you here tonight.
Yeah, all in all, it was a great race. You always want to come out with a win, and yeah, I hit the wall before the last pit stop, which gave me like 2 seconds of damage. I think I was able to repair maybe a half second of that, and then getting in contact with a lap car was not ideal when I had like 7/10 on them, so I might have held them off. I doubt it, but yeah, I lost quite a bit of straightaway speed when that happened because they ran me over very quickly.
Yeah, and you think maybe the pitting a couple laps in advance played any role in that, and the tires were starting to lose the grip at that point in the run, or you think it really was just they drove a little bit more conservatively, or you think the damage was a big part of that?
Maybe towards the end, I think I caught a lot of traffic that was grouped together, and a lot of like 3 wide, 2 wide situations where I think by the time they got them, they looked like they were all single file and spread out. So, and you know what it's like with the aero tight, and if you got like 3-4 cars ahead of you, you're feeling it right away. So, I'm sure that had an effect on wearing out my stuff a little bit more. But that's racing. It's it's part of the game. I was hoping to, string it out there at the end, but it was just like, when I saw it was like 10 laps to go and they were within, I think like 1.2 seconds or something. And I was like, there's no way I could hold it off for another 10 laps.
Yeah, definitely. I thought you were maybe going to have it in the bag. It didn't look like the gap was shrinking fast enough, but it shrunk pretty quickly there after a couple laps. So a heck of an effort for you, though. 2 top 5s to open the season. And we head to Road America. I know you're kind of a road course specialist, so what are your thoughts on going out there?
Kind of excited because the last time I ran there was in a different league and came out with the win. So if it's anything like the last race, I should be sitting good as long as I don't make any mistakes.
Yeah, we'll see if you can break through there and capture your first win of the season. So close for the first 2 races, but not quite enough, but still going to be looking good in the points. You had the stage win here tonight as well. Yeah, you end up 3rd. You lead 78 laps after starting on the front row. Anybody want to give a shout out to for tonight's podium?
Yeah, shout out to my crew. They were like teammates. They helped me out on practice day. Just getting some information from them, and we're all helping each other out. Shout out to yourself, Adam, with V-Speed, doing an awesome job with the broadcast. And shout out to our sponsors, American Trucking Association, the Illinois Trucking Association, below the Double Yellow Podcast, Boston Web Marketing, Lazy Days Racing, Simulator Anonymous, Chucko Trucking, and that's about it.
Awesome, Keith. Well, congrats on another fantastic run here tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing what you can do at Road America.
Hopefully I'll be talking to you in Victory Lane.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Keith.
Adam.
All right. That is Keith Maiato finishing 3rd place here tonight. But Mark Emerson, what a drive from the driver of the number 32 as he takes home the victory. Let's take a look at our full rundown and head on out for the night. Let's take a look at the full results in tonight's event and a recap of the race. 5 cautions, a lot of those coming early, and 2 of them for the stages. So actually a pretty low caution race. for 170 laps. 17 total lead changes before this thing was said and done. A lot of those happening through the final pit cycle. And Mark Emerson able to steal it away from Mayato and Hatchel, who won the stages, and he was second in both of those, but he won the war and came home first tonight. Seth Hatchel finishing runner-up. Keith Mayato in third position. Safe Fares, a good run to charge back to fourth. Ryan Gemmel ends up with a nice strong top 5, also charging from the rear. Eric Gallion, a fantastic run in the 6th position. He picked up a few there before the end. Chris Simard finishes 7th. Nick Starling, a very strong finish in 8th. Josiah Vincent in 9th. And Nick Alves rounding out the top 10. In 11th position, it was Tony Baird, 12th. Alan Dice, 13th. Jeremiah Vincent, 14th. Michael Newman, 15th. Eric Hutton. Mark Beverly finishing in the 16th position. Eric Lambert finishes in 17th. 18th was Dennis Faircloth. 19th, Dale Glessner. 20th was Justin Carey. 21st, Noah Michalski. 22nd, Lyle Sulfridge. 23rd, Brett Sommers. 24th, AJ Stravato. Good effort there to gain a few more points and run this thing out. Dennis Steele finishes 25th. 26th was Jordan Brockle. 27th, Timmy Emanuele. 28th, Kyle Payne. 29th, Kevin Cornelius. Rounding out the top 30 was Jordan Shepler. In 31st, you had Robert Gilmore, the number 40 machine. 32nd, Brandon Vasquez. 33rd, Dallas Sullivan. 34th, TJ Brendel. 35th, Cody Adkins. 36th, Dylan Teal. 37th, Zach Smith. And 38th was Nick Gardner. All those drivers with an early exit from tonight's race and unable to complete it. But want to give a big thank you to everyone who helps each and every night and bring this action to you. If you enjoyed the broadcast, please consider following or subscribing, and you can check us out at vspeedsim.com to learn more about our services here on VSpeed. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube for race replays and race announcements, and find us weekly here on Twitch at VSpeedSim. We're going to jump in with someone else. Let's take a look at who is streaming, and we can jump in with. I don't see too many people. Maybe see Justin. All right, we're gonna jump in with Action Jackson. He's probably streaming Escape from Tarkov, so one of my favorite games, and great streamer, great guy. Check him out. And thank you so much, everyone. We'll be back next week with Road America, right here with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series.